Hello everyone, I'm Harvey and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel. As you can see, I finished 4th overall and 1st in England in the 2021 season in FPL, and I would like to share some tips and tricks to help you along your FPL journey. Let's dive straight into it. So looking back at my game week 32 points, I got 94 points in the end, which was 38 above the average, so a really good game week and a big green arrow into the top 40k now, so things are looking good. Obviously I went for Livramento instead of Lewis Hall. That was the transfer I made for this week, and I'm seeing the glasses half full because Livramento did get a clean sheet in the second fixture. He obviously had a double game week and he looked really lively as well, although the stats don't suggest that. In terms of the eye test, he looks really lovely, bombing down that left and right flank in fact. So on the one hand, happy with the transfer, but yeah, you can see the glaring mistake on my bench, which is Aiton Nuri, who got 14 points against Spurs, obviously in a single game week as well. The way I sort of decided that transfer is because I believed that Wolves would concede, which they did, but I didn't anticipate Aiton Nuri getting a goal and an assist, as well as the full 3 bonus. So yeah, in hindsight, probably should have just rolled the transfer, but I went for the extra fixture, and although Livramento did get 8 points, I am fixating on that Aiton Nuri 14 pointer, but at the same time I'm happy with my game week, so yeah, I'm not going to dwell on the negatives. Obviously the other game week, double game week players were Munoz, Eze, Isak, Mateta and Eddie Howe. Really happy with the assistant manager, and obviously I made the right choice because it was between him and Glasner, and Howe actually came on top with 23 points. I'm not sure how Glasner did, but they got thumped twice and then conceded 5 goals in each. So yeah, although I'm not entirely sure on what Glasner got, it can't have been that many points because they only scored 2 goals and lost both fixtures. So in terms of the actual players, obviously Mateta came off before the 60th minute in both fixtures. He didn't really look that lively either, but I'm not going to panic because he has got another double game week coming up, and Glasner's actually confirmed in the press conference that he will start against Bournemouth. So yeah, I'm not going to panic about him, and obviously I'm going to allow him to be in the first 11 that I've got for game week 33. Same with Eze. He missed the penalty against Newcastle, which is probably one of the worst penalties I've ever seen, and obviously he came off before the 60th minute, which meant that he didn't get 2 points for the appearance. So yeah, although he got 7 points in the first game week and actually scored, and he probably could have had 2 as well in that game against City, a little bit disappointing overall after that -1 point in the second game. And then talking of -1 points, Munoz came away with -1 points in both game weeks combined. So yeah, really disappointing double game week for him, but at the same time he was away in both fixtures, and their away form isn't great, Crystal Palace's. So yeah, I wasn't expecting much, but yeah, I wasn't expecting that little. So yeah, it is what it is. Moving on to the other players, so Semenyo got a 10 pointer, surprisingly got a goal against Fulham and 2 bonus as well as a clean sheet, so that was welcomed. Obviously a lot of people had Jacob Murphy this week, so again I could look at the negatives and say that I didn't have Murphy, but at the same time I'm happy with Semenyo's goal and the couple of bonus points. Palmer, again, slightly disappointing. He got a lucky assist for Sancho's goal, which was outside the box. And then obviously he got booked as well, which meant that he came away with only 4 points against Ipswich at home. So he will likely leave the team this week, which I'll show you in the next portion of the video. Salah got 1 assist. He's actually been low-key disappointing as well recently. The 15 points he got against Southampton was 2 penalties, so I think it's 7 games now without an open play goal. So yeah, a little bit disappointing from him, but I'm not going to overreact with Mo Salah because he's obviously broken lots of records this season, and yeah, he's going to stay in the team for next week. Martinez, I was happy that he started against Southampton away despite the rotation, or anticipated rotation for the European fixture against PSG. But yeah, most of the main players actually started that game against Southampton, so yeah, he came away with a 6 pointer, having got the clean sheet. Guardiola, disappointing really, against Palace, where he only got 1 point, but that just obviously meant that he didn't get the clean sheet after conceding 2 goals, and attacking wise he didn't really have any threats because O'Reilly started at left back, so that meant that Guardiola was a central centre back, meaning that he obviously wasn't bombing down that left flank. But yeah, it is what it is. And then Marmoush, last but not least, I'll touch on Isak as well actually, but yeah, Marmoush could have got a lot more in that game as well. Look at that, 1.03 expected goals as well as 0.26 expected assists. So yeah, it could have been more, but at the same time, I'll take that 7 points. And then the captain Isak, again, another person that could have got more. He missed so many big chances in that Palace game, although it doesn't obviously reflect that in the stats. I think he missed 2 big chances, one of which was set up by Jacob Murphy. So yeah, obviously happy with the 11 points that he got across the 2 games, but in hindsight it could have been more. And then Mbeumo on my bench just got a 2-pointer against Arsenal away. Again, I wasn't expecting anything else than that, but he will be in the team for next week, which I'll show you in a minute. But yeah, the rest of the bench, obviously Valdemarsson and Gabriel got 0 pointers because they're not playing at the moment. As obviously Gabriel is injured, so yeah, decent game week and a green arrow into the top 40k as I mentioned before. So yeah, we'll take the positives and we'll move on. Now looking at my game week 33 team, I've actually got 7 doublers, including Martinez, Munoz, Eze, Mateta, Marmoush, Saka and Gvardiol, as well as my assistant manager Arteta, which is technically 8. But yeah, you can see I've made the transfer from Eddie Howe to Arteta for this week. Obviously Eddie Howe only had a single game week against Villa away, which can be a difficult place to go to, and Arsenal have got the best double game week, so I thought I would go for Arteta this week and hope for the best. He won't get any table bonus obviously, but at the same time I think they will score a couple goals against both teams, Ipswich and Crystal Palace, so I think he's the obvious choice for this game week. And then the captain Marmoush, it's between him and Bukayo Saka for this week for me, but I just feel like the expected minutes is better for Marmoush, and he's looked a lot more lively than Saka has, even though Saka scored midweek against Real Madrid. I think his minutes will be just going forwards because they've got a busy schedule coming up. So at the moment it's on Marmoush, but that could change before the deadline. So the other game week players, double game week players rather, Crystal Palace, obviously Munoz, Eze and Mateta, they're not going anywhere because they're all fit and available for the double game week. So yeah, even though they disappointed last week, I'm not going to overreact for this week. Gvardiol, again, really happy to own him, and he looks like he's past fit as well for the game at the weekend against Everton. So fingers crossed he gets at least a clean sheet in that fixture, if not the Villa fixture, because I don't own Villa attackers this week. So the likes of Morgan Rogers, I hope that they blank. But yeah, obviously it'll be nice to get a clean sheet from City. And then I'm trusting Ain't Yuri, as you can see in the back line that I've got. Yeah, obviously got a 14-pointer against Spurs, and Manu are off the back of a high against Lyon in the Europa League. So yeah, fingers crossed they rotate and Ain't Yuri exploits that and actually delivers for me when I actually play him. So yeah, fingers crossed he can get back-to-back double-digit hauls, but that's wishful thinking probably. But yeah, he's in the team for this week because I trust him over Livramento, who's got Villa away, which I said can be a difficult fixture. And then in goal, I've got Martinez. Obviously, I prefer Raya, but yeah, I made that switch a couple of game weeks ago now. So he did get a clean sheet for me last week, and Raya actually blanked. So yeah, I'm just hoping that he gets the off chance of a clean sheet this week. And yeah, if he doesn't, then it is what it is. But he hopefully get 2 appearance points for both games as well, which is part of the reason why I went for him. Just obviously, I expect the bare minimum, but if he comes away with a clean sheet, it'll be a bonus. The other single game week players, obviously Salah, Mbeumo and Isak. I'll touch on Salah first. So Salah Leicester away is probably as good as a double game week this week, but yeah, fingers crossed he gets a return and stop this blank run that he's gone on recently. And then Mbeumo, again, I hope he repays the faith I've put in him because I've kept him for so long, and just before this fixture as well, at Brighton at home. So yeah, hopefully he returns as well. And then Isak, Villa away. Obviously that's a conflict with my goalkeeper, but I haven't got many other options this week, and the only other option in fact is Semenyo. So I prefer Isak this week, and although he's missed a few big chances, at least he's getting them at the moment. So he's in the starting 11 for this week. And yeah, I've touched on the bench, but Gabriel's obviously injured. Valdemarsson isn't playing for Brentford at the moment because Flecken's the number 1. Semenyo and Livramento, both really good assets to have, but yeah, they will be on the bench for this week. But yeah, good luck with your teams, and I'll see you next week. Thank you for watching this episode. If you could please like, subscribe and comment on what I should do next, that would be great. See you in the next one.